Hi Susie, it's Corey with Gant Property Inspections. I'm going to do a couple of video walkthroughs for you since you can't be here, and we'll just talk about a few things. No big surprises. The house is kind of is what it is if you've gotten a chance to walk through it. It's in a really nice location on this quiet road over here with access to Cleowalks Lake and access to everything else here on the coast. It just seems like a pretty cool place as far as location to live in. The house also is very livable, and really no surprises, no huge problems. Kind of is what it is, like I said. So I'm going to flip this around and we'll take a look at the house on the outside, and then we'll do another video on the inside. All right, here's the beautiful setting. The house and the pump house. I'll just go ahead and start there. I don't do a whole lot with outbuildings, but I did take a couple pictures of the water system, the well heads in there, as well as the pressure tank, and there's a filter, and there's basically all the controls for the water system is in there. So the more information you can get about the sellers, from the sellers about that, the better. The pressure tank is has condensation on the outside of it, and the seller who's here was concerned there was a leak. I'm not sure if there is a leak, but her husband's going to look at it when he gets here. All right, coming over to the house. They've done a lot of updates on this house. Notably, the roof is newer. It almost sounds like they've had the roof done twice. Probably wasn't done correctly the first time because of a low-pitched roof. It needs to have a water and ice shield underneath it. And now it looks really good. It's not very old at all. With the trees all around, you do have to clean off the roof still on a regular basis to keep water from getting backed up underneath the shingles. It needs to be, I believe, blown off with a leaf blower several times a year, and the gutters as well, so they work right. Right now there's just a little bit of needles up there, not a huge problem. It looks pretty good. As far as ventilation, there's not a lot of ventilation in this roof. Just has these two big end vents that we see in the soffit there, and then two more down at the other end. So there should be airflow going up and over and through, but to me that seems very minimal. It makes me nervous about moisture building up in the attic space that we can't get to. I would explore adding more vents maybe in the roof to get more airflow, but it gets kind of technical in how the air moves in there, so you'd want to talk to someone who is willing to work through that. Because typically there's soffit vents here in the soffits, and then roof vents up on top that cause air to go up and through to keep the attic space dry. This house does not have that. All right, coming down, you have metal siding, which can't really go wrong with that. It can be dented, but other than that, it's pretty solid. You can't do much to it to ruin it. It is a little dirty in places, and we have plants growing up against the house, which I don't prefer, and I recommend against, just because of the moisture trapping and bugs, and it just makes it harder to keep the house clean. So on the front and back, there's quite a few plants right up against it. Let's go ahead and stop here and talk about the deck. Deck is a really nice big deck and in good condition. They've used a treated wood. It still needs to be checked every few years to see if you need to add a stain to it, but right now it's in really good condition. A nice big covered area. Really nice. And looks good too. Now as far as the structure, where it's connected, where the patio cover is connected to the roof, it's a little bit questionable. There's no hangers for these rafters, and the ledger board has screws and then one structural screw right in the middle. Not quite done right. It might last like this for 40 years, or it could fail because of the way the person's connected those. So anyway, I'd have a contractor look at that, see if there's ways to improve that if need be. And there's one rafter that has a crack, and that's all in the rest of the report. Coming around this way, we could also talk about the windows. So all the windows have been upgraded to vinyl windows, and they seem real nice. and not a problem. Crawl space access is over here, and there's been considerable work done down there since these owners have had it. They cleaned it out, cleaned out the old insulation, put new insulation in the floor. It's not done like a typical manufactured home, but it's done more like a regular home. There's a few gaps, but overall it seems to be in good condition. And there is one plumbing leak, kind of in the laundry area. It's a supply line with a drip. It's just a dripping down on the ground. It's not causing any structural issues, but that should be fixed. I was just talking to the seller about that, and they'll probably look into that. On that note, it is plumbed with polybutylene, which those connectors with polybutylene are known to leak over time. And so that's something to know about. Some people end up replacing all of their supply lines because of that reason. Others just fix them as leaks come along. Here we can just talk about how siding's kind of dirty. It looks like these plants used to be growing up against it. Recommend it at minimum cleaning it. And then across this side of the house, the bushes are growing right up against the house. And there's also ivy growing in the house, which can be problematic. Okay. Power comes in over there in the front of the property. That's about it for the outside, I think. Overall, it seems like a nice place, comfortable and fun to be at. I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to start another video on the inside.